First thing I'm going to do to make mini carrot cakes is preheat the oven 200 degrees or gas mark 6. So you need to weigh out all your ingredients. We need 75 grams of Marge, 125 grams of carrots, 100 grams of sugar, 100 grams of flour, 5 milliliters or 5 grams of cinnamon, 5 milliliters or 5 grams of baking powder, 1 large egg, 50 grams of sultanas or mixed fruit, 25 grams of nuts, and some cupcakes, probably about 8. So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to melt the Marge over a low heat. If you need to stir, you can stir with a spoon. So if you need to stir, like I said, then you just give it a good stir. That'll stop it bubbling. We don't want it too hot. We're going to put it over a nice low heat and just let the temperature do the work, and eventually all of this big lump of Marge will melt down into a liquid. So it says in the instruction sheet we're going to top, tail and then peel and grate the carrot. So to top and tail we're going to use a claw grip, and we're going to take the top off like so. We're going to take the bottom off like so. We're then going to peel using our peeler, and we're going to pull it towards us and then take off all the outside of the skin of the carrot, just like so. You can do that all the way around so you haven't got any of the skin on top. This one large carrot is about all we need. That's about 125 grams. So we're going to get rid of all of the extra carrot gratings. Don't need those. Push those out of the way. And then we're going to get our grater, and we're going to use what we usually use for cheese to grate our carrot into a smaller area. If you think that this is too thicker pieces, which it might well be, then you could always use the different part of the grater, which is this one here, to make a much finer version, which for carrot cakes, which is what we're making, is probably a better option. So we're going to use the smaller grater, and we're going to grate like so till all the carrot's gone. What you've got to be careful of is when you get to the bottom of your carrot not to get your fingers too close, because you could end up cutting your fingers. I'd rather waste some of the carrot than ended up cutting fingers. So stage 4 is we're going to put the carrots into a mixing bowl, like so, and we're going to put the sugar in as well, and then we're going to put our melted Marge in. It's all going to go into a mixing bowl, like so. And we're going to give it a little bit of a stir, just to mix it all in a bit. Don't need too much of a stir at this stage because we've still got the next ingredients to go in. So the next stage is we're going to use our sieve, and we're going to sieve in the flour like so, giving it a bit of a shake. If you remember rightly, this process is called aerating. It's taking all the lumps out of the flour and it's putting lots of air into it. I'm going to give it a tap on your hand just to get rid of the last little bits. We're also next going to sieve in our cinnamon, which is there. So that's our cinnamon done. And then we're going to also sieve in our baking powder. And that's the baking powder done. So the next stage is we're going to crack our egg into a small bowl. Like so, making sure that the eggshell goes inside the bin. And then we're going to take ourselves a fork, and we're going to beat the egg like so that the yolk breaks, so it turns into a bit of a mixture. Don't need to beat for long, that's more than enough. So we're going to add our beaten egg to our mixture, and then at this stage we are going to put in our sultanas and our nuts, and then we're going to give the whole thing a good mix, and that's going to form the basis of our cake mix. See, it's all starting to bind together with that egg. That's what the egg's doing. Give it a good stir, and we've got a nice stodgy looking cake mix. When that goes into the oven, it's going to rise, and it's going to hopefully make some nice fluffy cakes. So you now need to get yourself a baking tray with the little indents in, ready for your mini carrot cakes, and this mixture should make somewhere between 6 and 8 cakes. So if you've got 8, that's what I'd recommend trying to split them across. So there's 6, there's 7, and there's 8 of our cupcake cases. We're then going to get 2 metal spoons, make sure it's 2, and you're going to take a dollop of mixture, like so, and you're then going to use the other spoon to force it off into your cupcake holder, and you're going to do the same thing again. So like so, and then you're going to use the other spoon to scrape it off. And you're going to repeat the process until you've made 8 different filled cupcake cases, like so. After that, you can put your cupcakes into the oven. You must make sure it goes into a preheated oven, because if it doesn't, cupcakes may not cook all the way through and still be quite stodgy on the inside. So it must be preheated at about 200 degrees, which is the equivalent of gas mark 6 if you're using a gas cooker. I've still got some mixture left in my bowl, and I've already filled my 8 cases, so I'm just going to fill out the little ones a little bit more. On there, and then we got enough for a little bit more in that one. Oh, and over the side, that's not too much of a problem at the moment. Fill that one up, like so. There we have it. There's your cupcakes ready to go into the oven. And I'm going to then place in the oven. And that needs to stay in there for 20 minutes. Now's your chance to be washing up, clearing up and wiping down your surfaces. That's how you make mini carrot cake cupcakes. I'll show you the result in a minute. So when your carrot cakes have been in for about 15 to 20 minutes, the best way to check to see if they're cooked is to get a knife, open the oven, and just dig your knife into the carrot cake, and if there's any stodginess that comes out and sticks to the knife, you know they're not cooked and need to go back in. In this case, as you can see, they're cooked, there's no stodgy on the knife. And there we have it. 8 mini carrot cakes. Wait till they're cooled down, put on a plate, serve and enjoy.